Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Sunday chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. Good to see everybody. We've got a few in the house already. Hope you are doing okay. You've had a good weekend. Let's start off with the usual and say hello to a few folks, see who we've got. And it looks like a lot of familiar names in the house. Alex Cullen, hello to you. It's my town. Everyone ignores the 20-mile-an-hour thing. It's stupid. Yes, Nigel the handyman, Jody, Handy Andy at Gatport Airwick. I know someone else that says that. Jason Hughes, Julie Keys, Gary Thornbury, Johnny Smart. Hello to you. Good to see you, sir. Hope you're well. Jason Hughes, Stink Pooter. Kiwi Wife, hello to you. Good to see you. Blue Angel 10. Moran, hello. I think that's a new one, isn't it? M, hello to you. Ryan, good to see you, my friend. Hope you're well. Good to chat to you yesterday. Sharpie, Anthony P, Tony Masker, Nigel the handyman. I think I've said hello to you already, haven't I? Anna Perkins, good to see you. And several others there. Is my cab electric? No, it most certainly is not. Sharpie, it's not something I would definitely be looking at in the not too distant future. It's very, very pricey and out there. Hello, Russ. Good to see you. Kathy as well, and Andy. Hi, Andy from Andy. I love it. Thank you very much. Before we go any further, I mean, there's 86 in the chat already. That's great. Make sure you hit the thumbs up. Let's get that algorithm cooking straight away. And that really helps spread this information around. What I want to go through tonight, I want to turn our attention back to Wales for a second, and specifically the 20-mile-an-hour zone or the 20-mile-an-hour speed limit they want to put all over Wales. Somebody put in a freedom of information request to find out certain things about costs, the whys, the wheres, and the hows. And they decided to send me that information. So I thought I would go through that with you and show you all the evidence to make you more aware. Before I talk about Wales, I want to cover a subject, first of all, which is very, very important to anybody that's concerned about ULEZ and what's going on in London. Give me a 1 in the chat if you've heard of a guy called Noel Wilcox, or 2 if you haven't. Okay, Alex says 2. A lot of people are saying 1s and a few 2s as well. Okay, 2, 2, 2, 2, and a laugh out loud. Right, Noel Wilcox is a scaffolder, and he runs a scaffold company. And he recently made the press, the national media, the national press, because he ended up clocking up £11,500 worth of low emission zone fees with his scaffold lorry. I say fees, they're fines. It went to court and Noel won. It was found that the argument was upheld because the low emission zone signs, and by proxy, the ultra low emission zone signs, are actually unlawful because they don't say anything about how much you have to pay, when you have to pay, how you have to pay, or, you know, any boundaries or anything like that. Now, Noel approached me, and I've been speaking to him very much over the last week and trying to help him, you know, promote what he's trying to do. Noel is going to take TfL to court on behalf of everybody. He's acting in the national interest, and you know, basically the ULEZ and the LEZ and everything else needs throwing in the dustbin and starting again. Noel has promised me that he will give me pretty much first dibs on what is going on and when it's going on. And I can tell you that at some point this week, probably towards the end, something very big is going to happen. And when it comes in, or when I get to know about it, I will be putting it in front of all of you. But for now, what I've been helping him with is advertising the fundraiser, which he has, to help raise the money for the legal costs, which will inevitably come with this effort. Thank you very much, Tony. That's very much appreciated. 20 quid in the pot for Noel. So many of you, Andy donated 10 quid. That's brilliant. Thank you. So many of you have donated already. So many of the names. Now, to instigate the initial stages of this, £2,500 needs raising. That £2,500 has been smashed. He wants to raise 100 grand, £100,000 in total to do this properly, to see it right through to the end. But the initial stage is 2.5, and I want to show you the fundraiser now, so you can see exactly where we are as of right this second. Share screen. Thank you, Bloodnose, for putting the link into the chat. I appreciate that. You can see this is the GoFundMe, and you can see that he's raised nearly £6,500. Now, I started getting involved in this within the last 24 to 48 hours, and before I got my hands on it, it was 500 quid, and now we're up to nearly 6.5 grand. So he's got more than enough money there to start the initial stages and go on with it. You can see from here, and the link is in the description to this live as well, and you can put many other things. This tells you the whole process, what he hopes to do. It's all there. And as I said to you, Noel will actually tell me what's going on when he's instigated the next stage of things this week. So that news will come to you as soon as I get it, and he will let me know. Now, I'm asking anybody, if you can and you're in a position to give him something, even if it's a couple of quid, it's getting that much closer to that 100 grand mark. If you can't, or you're not in a position to, then please, at the very least, either share one of the videos where I talk about it, share this live, or just share the link. Just get it everywhere, out to your social media, anywhere you can think of, anyone you can think of. We need to get that money raised. So well done to Noel. And just to say again, that link is in the description. And I know that it is being shared by Bloodnose in the chat. So that's absolutely Wales situation. There's an individual that approached me who put in a freedom of information request to, the Welsh government to do with this 20-mile-an-hour zone, because at the end of the day, questions need to be asked and questions need to be answered. Very simple. So let's have a look at this. We'll see how we are doing. I see Stink Pooter saying we got 81 likes. Racing to 100. We got 222 in the chat. So if you haven't done so already, please give me the thumbs up. That will be great, and that will really help. Now, this is the freedom of information request that was sent in to me, and I'll make this full screen so we can all see what's going on. Hugh Boyd, happy to share, Andy. Wish I could do more. It increases the visibility and increases the traction of this thing and gets it to more people that can actually see it and help and donate. I mean, it's gone mad. It really has gone mad, and it's so pleasing. I spoke to Noel earlier today, and he is over the moon. Now, this Welsh FOI consists of a load of points. Being stated 6 to 10 lives will be saved a year. Who calculated this? Where does this figure come from? What research? If 6 to 10 lives are saved, how does this equate to saving £92 million for the NHS in Wales? It's been stated the scheme is costing £32 million to set up. Where does this come from? How much does each 20-mile-an-hour sign cost? How much did each leaflet advertising the scheme cost, and how many were printed? Beaufort Research carried out a study for the Welsh Government. How much did this cost? How did it manage to do this during a pandemic? And how were the 1,000 people selected that took part in the study? Was the research skewed as it only asked 1,000 adults, which is not a true reflection of the 3.1 million people in Wales? Was the research brought in the sense the Welsh Government paid for it, got the result it wanted? Seen a lot of talk about Spain having a similar scheme. Did any Senedd members, elected or officers, go to Spain? How many? What are their names and titles? If they did, where did they go? How much were the flights and the cost for each night in a hotel? Why was no consultation held with the people of Wales about this 20-mile-an-hour scheme? Why on the leaflet does it say 63% support a lower speed limit when only 1,000 people were asked? Is this not a lie? Why does it not state 1,000 people were contacted? And lastly, did Beaufort Research compete in a tender process for this job? Why has it had so much work from the Welsh Government when other agencies are on the market? Now, there's a list of responses there, and a lot of this, I think, is, really trying to put them off the scent. Pilot training flight expert, very valid point. It's nothing to do with speed. It's all about control. I do believe you're right, to be quite honest with you. I really do. Now, some of these responses, we've got some of the information here. It's been stated 6 to 10 lives will be saved a year. Who calculated this? Where does the figure come from? What research? The information you require is published here. Now, there is a link to a full document. If 6 to 10 lives are saved, how does this equate to saving £92 million for the NHS? The information you require is here. I have access to all of these documents, and they're all in the link in the description. It's been stated the scheme is costing £32 million to set up. Where did this money come from? And they say funding has come from the Welsh Government grant funding and local authority funding is detailed in a previous Freedom of Information response. I'll show you that shortly. How much does each 20-mile-an-hour zone cost, and how many have been put up across Wales? Estimated costs are there as well. How much did each leaflet advertising the scheme cost? How many were printed? Now, they reckon £134,900 included within the overall cost of the policy change, estimated at 32 million. There's some estimates about the design, the print, and the delivery there. Easy read, BSL, Braille, and alternative languages. Now, this is very telling, this bit. Beaufort Research carried out a study for the Welsh Government. How much did that cost? Beaufort Research were commissioned by the Welsh Government to assess public attitudes towards a default 20-mile-an-hour speed limit on restricted roads in 2020 in 2 surveys costing under £5,000 each. Now, the thing that I find very telling about all this is the fact this happened in 2020. What were we doing in 2020? We were all penned up. We were all locked in our houses, weren't we? Very, very convenient timing, all this. Was the research skewed? Asked 1,000 adults, which is not a true reflection. The sample was selected to be statistically representative of the Welsh population. I don't think they answered that question there. Was the research bought in the sense the Welsh Government paid for it to get the result they wanted? No. I've seen a lot of talk about Spain having a similar scheme. Did any Senedd members or elected officers go to Spain? No. If they did, how much did it cost? Non-applicable. Why was no consultation held with the people of Wales about the scheme? A 12-week public consultation was undertaken between July in October 2021. 5,607 responses were recorded. Now, there is actually information there, which gives a bit more detail on that. Why on the leaflet mentioned above does it say 63% when 1,000 were asked? And again, they're saying about the methodology of, a representative sample, which is absolute nonsense because it doesn't truly represent what's going on in Wales and what people really think about all this. It's utter craziness. And I want to show you some of those documents in a minute. But first, we'll go to some of the comments because there is a few here where people have made some points. Andy, be honest to you all. It's really worrying me. That's what's happening in England at the moment. The whole thing's a worry. I mean, I'm seeing, forget Wales at the moment. I'm seeing a lot of trouble with London, what's going on there. And, there's other places in the country as well. It's like we're all descending into complete madness. It is a worry. It is a worry. And some of the antics are law enforcement as well. It is a worry. Why are they doing this? Where are they? What unbelievable. And some people are getting nicked for things they shouldn't be getting nicked for. Michael Hancock starting to do this in Oxon, 20 miles an hour. Now, this is my worry, Michael. If they can get away with it in Wales or if they can get away with it in anywhere else, where else are they going to get away with it? I mean, they're going to blow this thing out everywhere. I've seen information which really confirms to me that that's going to be the case. Jason Hughes, fair play to Noel. I bet the ULEZ enforcement felt like right planks. Pun intended. Absolutely. There's a lot more to the story. There really is. The background of the original fines and everything else. But I only know what I can pass on to you. And as I said, there will be big news coming this week. And hopefully you will be the first to know about it. I will stick a video up. Well, I said to Noel, I'll put a video out tomorrow to give the latest update with the fundraiser. I mean, he is absolutely over the moon with what's gone on here, what we've managed to achieve together. And we will be going further, that's for sure. Anna Perkins, these zones should only be present by consent. Many councils have said no, but no vote to accept has ever taken place. No, it hasn't. It hasn't. This is the thing. There's no consent to this. I mean, when consultations go out, it's almost like they collect the results and then just do what the hell they like anyway. So what the hell was the point in the consultation? Consultation is part of the legal process. They have to do it on any of this. And yeah, no, it's mad. Mark and Janice, hello, good to see you. FOI request will show that Mark Drayford is a hater of cars, not an environmentalist. Absolutely. Tony Tasker, 100 grand will pay for the barristers and the costs of putting this in front of the court. Well worth a few quid if you ask me. Yeah, absolutely. Going back to Noel and his fundraiser, if you have a look, listen to the video and look at the breakdown, he tells you exactly where all of this is going. And, it is going to get some serious traction. It really is. And it needs to be done. Blue Angel 10, I think I missed that comment. They want to do what they want. They never listen to the people. Completely agree with you. As I said, it's part of the process, consultation or consultations. And, they have to do it. But whether they act on the will of the people or not. I mean, you look at Noel Cox's fundraiser, Noel Wilcox's fundraiser. I'll get my names right, for example. Yes, everyone wants ULEZ, but within 48 hours, I've got 6,500 reasons why they don't. And it's only going to get bigger. Very powerful when you've got the will of the people talking, isn't it? Very, very powerful. Alex, in UK, I feel like I'm in Borstal. Could be like that sometimes, can't it? I wonder if anyone still threatens to send their kids there. That'd be something, wouldn't it? Right, we'll leave the comments there for now. I'll come back to the others in a little while. Just want to say welcome to anybody that's just come in this evening. Andy the Gabby Cabby in the Sunday chat. Good to see you. Thank you for the support. If you haven't done so already, give it a thumbs up. Hit that like button. ring the bell and subscribe to the channel if you haven't. We're really motoring again. Really appreciate the support, and very grateful to each and every one of you. Last 2 or 3 weeks, we've had some great numbers in the chat, more than I could dream of. And, you know, it's great. It really is great. Thank you ever so much. Now, let's have a look at some of these documents that they were talking about. The first one, if I get them in the right order. Here we go. 20-mile-an-hour speed limits, a sustainable solution to public health problems in Wales. And again, the links to all of these, so you can have a more detailed read, are actually in the description underneath this live. Background: prevention rather than treatment is the key to longer, healthier lives, identifying interventions that will impact positively on road traffic injuries. Now, this is the tack they're taking: injuries, air quality, and encourage active travel. Encourage active travel is the thing. I think they want people out of their cars, on their push bikes, and in the buses. Methods: research evidence has reviewed to identify the effect of 20-mile-an-hour zones and limits on health and well-being. The evidence was then used to estimate the effect of a change to a 20-mile-an-hour limit, road traffic casualties, and air pollution. It was then mapped against the 7 goals, the Well-Being of Future Generations Act 2015. Now, there are results and conclusions there. If we have a look at the conclusions, road traffic injuries, air pollution, and obesity are an interrelated, interdependent triad. The challenge facing public health today is identifying robust interventions that will help positively affect on all three as a minimum. Default 20-mile-an-hour limits is a solution to increasing public health within Wales. Now, they're going down the public health line, aren't they? Very much. Now, I did a thing. I'll see if I can find it on here. I put a poll up. I wanted to see what you thought. Here we go.
About antenatal. It's a business that offers guidance to new dads. I've got a domain with GoDaddy. About antenatal. It's a business that offers guidance to new dads. I've got a domain with GoDaddy.
That's interesting. It's not coming up. I put a poll online asking you what your opinion of 20-mile-an-hour zones was. So let's do this, shall we? Do you support a 20-mile-an-hour zone? Give me a 1 if you do, or a 2 if you don't. And I want to see what the cross-section is here. I do not support a blanket 20-mile-an-hour policy all over the place. I can see they have their usefulness outside schools and that sort of thing, where you've got young people running about, but strictly that and no more. To try and slow the traffic down coming into sensitive areas. But if you give them the excuse to blow them all over the place, you're asking for trouble. Really, really big trouble. I mean, you look at all the rat runs and everything else in London that have been speed reduced, humps put in, everything else. It's a recipe for disaster. And they say it's a public health issue. All you do is just end up with the traffic bunched up altogether. And more smoke, more trouble, more impatience, and a little bit more grief. Okay, I mean, you're all saying the same here. 2, 2, 2 to 2. So you don't agree with it. Right, let's have another look at another one of these documents, and then we'll go and have a look at some more comments. Right, TRI technical paper. Context: reducing vehicle speed is one of the 4 key elements of achieving a safe system, given the most harmful road user interactions are in local areas where people are often pedestrians and bicycle users. Many road transport authorities are considering moving the default from 30 to 20. While 30 has been 30 kilometers per hour has been common practice across many mainland European countries since the 80s, 20 has only relatively recently, and most since 2000, become more commonplace in the UK. And it looks like they're talking about cities such as Bristol, Edinburgh, Manchester, Portsmouth, and Warrington as well. And that full document there's like 7 pages worth of it. I'm not going to go through it all because That'd be like watching paint dry on the wall. Yeah, no. Richard Lewis says no speed limits for bikes. I've shown you the documentation in the video where you've got bikes overtaking cars, which are going along at 20 miles an hour. It is absolutely crazy. Right, let's have a look at some of these other comments, shall we? And address what some of you have says. Michael Hancock, I like Jeff buys cars. He covers this well. He certainly does. And, you know, Jeff is very, very good at what he does. I want to do a live stream with that guy. We did actually attempt to set something up at some point, but it didn't happen. I think busy lives and all that sort of thing gets in the way. Andy, have you seen what they got in the pipeline for is no meat, no cars, no flying, all controlled by drones? Yeah, I know the C40 group, headed by Sadiq Khan, was one of the lot that were talking about this madness, as well as others. I've got a news article on this that did come across my desk, and it's quite horrifying what was actually said. Anna Perkins, I hope in a way that these assemblies in Wales and Scotland are closed down and all decisions taken collectively for the nation. They can vote on English affairs. We cannot on theirs. Not very fair. It's a price of devolution, isn't it? Absolutely. I agree with you. Hitch up and toe. Always thought we voted councils and government in to run our country and our cities, not to control us. I bring a video out tomorrow which is entitled, Where Were They All? There was a very important debate taking part in Parliament on Friday, just gone. I'm not going to mention the name of it because I don't want to piss the algorithm off. But let's just say a lot more people should have turned up to that than they did. It was a disgrace. And they're there to represent us. And they didn't. Julie, smash the like. Let's see if we can hit 200 by the end of the live, guys. Thank you. Yes, please. Get that like button hit. 254 watching. Let's try and get a few more in there. Alex Cullen, this was the largest annual increase on record, with land accounting for over 60% of the UK's net worth. Wow. That is big numbers, isn't it? Bucharest guided tours. Hi, Andy. This is BGT. Bucharest, Romania. It's not just happening in the UK. It's all over Europe. Best wishes to you all. Stand up. Coordination, isn't it? Absolute coordination. Thank you for stopping by. Thank you for that comment. I appreciate it. Dog, it's happening everywhere. I live in Holland. They just got rid of 10,000 car spaces in Amsterdam in 3 years. I did read something the other day about a lot of pedestrianisation going on over there. And I'm assuming that's all to do with it. I mean, it's great to see people from, you know, European countries coming in and saying hi and giving us a little bit of feedback from there. A couple more comments, then we'll have a look at some more of these documents. There's a couple of other things I want to go through with you as well. Nigel the Handyman, if these schemes are to see how compliant the UK population will be before major compliant crap comes down the road, could be right. It's a slow march, isn't it? They want to see how pissed off we get and how we act on that, or don't, as the case may be. I must admit, I'm forever surprised at how much we are actually putting up with. Anna Perkins, have the drivers amongst us noticed a great decline in road safety awareness by those on 2 foot or 2 wheels? I have. I went out the other day and I was driving around my local town, and there was no stopping distances. There was no patience, no giving way. Everyone seemed to be just riding at you at 1,000,000 miles an hour. And I felt like I escaped in my life. It was crazy. Absolutely nuts. And I agree with you, Anna. There's definitely a problem. Right, let's go and have a look at these again. The next one. Each.cyf, what the hell this is. Now, this was a previous Freedom of Information request. Now, this was to do with the costings of getting the signs out and replacing old with new and so on and so forth. And you can see the information requested there. And the net result is, you know, that is a lot of money. You know, big figures, 34,084,792. That's for grants, caps, and reserves. Purchase orders, yeah, that's an even bigger figure, 2,643,917,000. Mad money all the time. Yeah, it's unbelievable how much they're throwing at this. I'll put that in the description as well. You can read that down there. And I think I might have said 2 billion when I meant 2 million. Here's another one. We've got to get through this as well. EM template for something or other. Yes, direct costings. The majority of the direct costs are reducing the default speed limit for roads in Wales from 30 to 20. Capital costs related to implementation of new signage. These costs fall almost entirely on the Welsh Government. Capital costs associated with the policy relate to the cost of implementing and removing signs and road markings at the time of the RIA relating to the 20-mile-an-hour order. The reported capital costs consisted of the following. Capital costs were estimated to be £24 million in 2022 prices, and these costs would be incurred across 2022 and 2023. Adjusting for 22% optimism bias adjustment in line with Green Book supplementary guidance for capital expenditure, the costs were estimated to amount to £29.3 million. And it goes on, there's another couple of bits there. And again, the link to that one, if you want to read it, is in the description down below. You can read that in full at your own leisure. Now, the next one, which is another telling figure. Now, this is a public attitudes to 20-mile-an-hour speed limit survey. Now, see, 1,000 people. That's it, out of a population of over 3 million. And it gives you an example. I mean, this document's 31 pages long. So again, it's a very, very long, lengthy read, but it tells you how they extrapolate the probable outcome or the probable result, what they're after, based on that sample of 1,000 people. And I'll stick that in the description below as well, so you can read it at your leisure, if that's your kind of thing. And the next one, consultation findings. Now, there was 2 documents on here, and I'll just show you the one of them. Proposal to reduce speed limit to 20 mile an hour, summary responses. Towards the beginning of the consultation response form, respondents were prompted with a list of different issues relating to roads, transport, and road safety. I've seen a list of these responses. At least half of those responded were concerned to some extent about all the issues. Children being involved in an accident. Now, in anybody's book, that is a concern. 74% were concerned. Cars and other vehicles driving too fast near schools, 70% concerned. Now, that is one of the only areas or one of the only times I would be okay with a speed limit to try and safeguard the kids outside schools and that kind of thing, but not as an excuse to plaster it everywhere. Cars and other vehicles parked on pavements, 64%. Cars and other vehicles driving too fast, 62%. Cars and other vehicles driving too fast generally, 59. Roads not safe for people with impairments, 59. Roads not safe for cyclists, 54. So that is the general response summaries. And again, you can read all those in more detail in the description below. Now, there's one guy who come up with a very valid point. Retro on his bikes has his own YouTube channel on here. Hop across and subscribe to him. He just does daily vlogs, daily blogs. He's in the merchant navy. He's an engineer, works a lot offshore, and he actually come ashore from his ship in Wales, and he drove across Wales. I think he saw 20 mile an hour zones, but wasn't terribly troubled by them because of the route he had to take. But when he got back home to the other side of the country where he lives, he spent more time driving at a far slower speed. And he said, waste of time, all of it. You know, and that's just that one example. So there you go. That was the Freedom of Information request. All the information that was provided by them is all there. It's all in the description below, so you can have a good old gander and see what you can learn, see what you can pull from it. Very, very, very interesting stuff. I've had a bit of a deeper read. David Lean, we have 200 likes. Whee! Thank you very much, everyone. That's great. And on the back of 264 rather watching. That's brilliant. Now let's have a look at some more of these comments. John Park Jones, we should do what Just Stop Oil do, block the roads, but in our cars. Hi, Andy. Hello, John. Did you see Just Stop Oil trying to have an argument with a coach? They lost. And I wonder why they're turning their attention to that instead of what they usually turn their attention to. Crazy, huh? Touche Turtle. I love that name. Brilliant. Welcome. 20-mile-an-hour zones must be for the zombies walking out in the road looking at their phones. Whatever happened to the Green Cross Code? Yeah, that was Dave Prowse back in the day, wasn't it? Darth Vader. He was the Green Cross Code man. We need something like that back. I do wonder whether it's about education rather than enforcement or, combination. I remember the Green Cross Code, man. I'm sure many other people do too. Tony Tasker, EV cars are heavier than ICE cars. EV cars take longer to stop than ICE cars. Is that the reason why they're going to 20 mile an hour? I've heard other people say that, Tony. There could be something in it. I've been keeping an eye on the Luton Airport situation as well to see if there's any other developments with that. Billy No Mates. New housing developments are designing out private property with no pavements, drives or gardens. I'll tell you one thing I've noticed. Let's go. Robert Horner, be thankful, people. Toyota and BMW just killed off the EV market with new technology. That is an interesting comment, isn't it? Very interesting indeed. Yeah, my line of thought. Yeah, I noticed a lot of housing developments going up recently, and they all look very neighborhoody, is all I'll say. And their locations are very, very succinct. They're very close to shopping areas. And I look at them and I think, really, what's going on here? Something's afoot, I have to say. But I may be wrong. Hitch Up and the Tow, the 1865 Red Flag Act speed limit, 4 mile an hour. It also required a crew of 3 people to operate a vehicle. Wow. A driver, a stoker, and a man to walk in front waving a red flag. 1865. Wow. Thank you for that. I didn't even know that. You learn something new every day. Adam, good to see you. I hope you're well as you can be. I understand why my mum always kept up with world politics when I was a kid. She had no idea how insane the world would become. Yeah, I mean, you have a lot of people that turn away from it because they don't want to know. But I try and teach my kids you need an understanding of what's happening in the world. Really, from any old point of view, don't you? That's for sure. Richie reports only about MPs at the debate. Absolutely disgraceful of all of that lot who didn't bother to turn up. I couldn't believe it, Richie. I really couldn't believe it. Watching always. Johnny Smart, not very smart, are you? Buses aren't regular enough and don't go hardly anywhere. And I'll add to that, when you don't want one, 2 turn up at once. That's the old joke, isn't it? Richard Butler, Andy, do you see that thing from the new CEO of Toyota? He said a few days ago that electric vehicles aren't the carbon emission free answer. Apparently, they're working on new clean liquid fuel. Really? You got me there. I didn't know that. You know, it's been a long-standing, well, annoyance to them that electric isn't really the way to go, is it? There are new fuel technologies, there are existing fuel technologies that can be adapted, and the rush is all centered around electric vehicle. Yeah, I think this will come good in the end. I really do. Soundwave. I can get a 1250 brake horsepower electric motor. Won't like the price though. Okay, I won't ask. Tony Tasker. Paul Shenton, I think, great. Is a twit spelt with an A. I know exactly where you're putting that A. Brilliant. Right, I want to break from the comments just a second. I want to talk about something personal to me. At the beginning and at the end of every video I do, there is an intro and there is an outro. Now, somebody sent me yesterday a new intro. I didn't ask for it. I just did it off the back, off their own back. And I thought, this is really smart. And what I wanted to do was show it to you in a live tonight and see what you think. Now, I want you to give me a 1 if you like it and a 2 if you don't like it. Now, think about how the original is and have a look at this. 3, 2, 1, go. What do you think of that? 1 if you like, 2 if you don't. Me, I'll give it a 1 all day long. I like it. I thought that added extra clang and me in it. I thought it was cool. That is the world debut of the intro. And it looks like we're getting some good feedback. That is brilliant. Okay, so that is going to be on the videos from now on. We have the consensus. Now, the outro music, only one person doesn't like it. Ooh, okay. Now, the outro music, one but changing brand names mid-season is not good. Oh, I'm not changing anything. The outro music, I have a bit of a problem. This person sent me an outro as well, but he can't source the music in the outro. He can't find it anywhere. Now, I don't know if anybody is aware of the outro music I have and where you can find it anywhere. If you can, I could really use the help. What we can do is strip the music out of the outro, but what we wanted to do was kind of add a beginning and an ending to it, make it a little bit better. I mean, it's good what the guy sent me. It really is. Not quite the iconoclast, but we'll tell you. Absolutely brilliant. Checkers plays pop. That's a blast in the past, isn't it, Alan? Absolutely. Top of the pops. I just like the twang at the end and the cartoony bit with me. I thought it was great. Absolutely. Right, let's go back and have a look at another couple of these comments. Before I do, just anybody that's dropped in, welcome. Daily Sunday chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. Good to see you. If you haven't done so, make sure you subscribe to the channel. Let's get that growth going again. And at the very least, hit the like button on this live stream. Helps the algorithm and helps everything go. Richie reports it's on the YouTube copyright-free playlist. Is that the outro music? If you can find that, can you point me in the right direction? Because all we need is an artist name and a title name, and we should be able to do what we want to do there. Right. Andy, La UK. There is already provision for reducing speed outside schools. in the form of speed bumps. I'll tell you what, Andy, my dad, ex-copper, he did, well, 25 years pushing it, old school ex-copper, with the kind you don't find anymore. When they introduced speed bumps, he hated it. He really did. And he had a thing or two, well, a thing or three to say about them, actually. But, you know, that's one of the only places I will agree with the speed restriction outside the school. I've got a 10-year-old son at the school, so okay, you got me there. But again, it's just you give them an inch, they take a mile. They'll plaster these things everywhere. David Lean, Dripford must be Dripford. I love it. Must be bought and paid for. Where else would he commit political suicide? I think it's going to be very interesting political times, isn't it, around here? It really is. Robert Allport. So when are they going to adjust the bus timetables to include the lower speed limits? That is a very valid point. Very valid point. I don't think they'd have got that, would they? And will it make them later, or will you get 2 or 3 turning up at once? We have a thing round here called the loop. I think they call it the Thanet loop. And what happens, they're supposed to come around every 40 minutes, and they reduced it to, I think, 15. And more often than not, you'll get 2 or 3 turn up all at the same time. Doesn't really work out, that one, does it? Adam, I think Greta should really cares at all. I think she simply loves being famous. Do you see the thing with the octopus? I think Paz did a video on this earlier saying, oh, she knows what she was talking about. You got to wonder, haven't you? You got to wonder. Bucharest guided tours. See that Luton Airport thing. The first pick was a Range Rover and a 3-digit private plate. The official front end pick is Photoshop nonsense. Somebody sent me video footage, well, a lot of footage about that. And I did a live on this last week. And he said, I know the footage. I know what's going on. And I did a live putting that information in front of everybody with some possibles about how the fire might have started. But then afterwards, reading the comments and more research, it's still up in the air, isn't it? I mean, you talk about the footage taken from the rear with a little private number plate. And if you have a look where the flames are spitting out, you can just make out some cars to the left as well. Now, it's all very skewed. And also, that car wasn't parked. That was abandoned there, or somebody jumped out in a hurry. Why? The reason I know that is because I'm very familiar with the car park, or I was until it burnt down and collapsed. There's more to that than meets the eye. And one very important thing that a lot of people have said there, where was the owner? Or where is the owner? Why hasn't all this been cleared up? And let's not even talk about the insurance. That is one. Soundwave. Everyone should send their council of FOI, as why they are all registered on Dun & Bradstreet as corporations, and where is your signed contract? Richard Vobes did a great video on that the other day, didn't he? Now, I was actually aware of that. I did a company search on my council, and they are listed as a company, an incorporated company. And you think, come off it, come off it. You know, they're treating us all for fools, and there is a lot more to it than that. There really is. George M. Yeah, if anyone knows where the outro music is and can provide a link, Andy, I would appreciate it very much. Cheers, George. It's you. This is a guy that's helped me out with the intros and the outros. Really appreciate it. Yeah, if we can get that music too, George, we can do something with that. It'd be great. But, you know, with the feedback, that intro is now the intro. I really like it very much. And the outro is really great also, but we've got to get the music to it. And I'll show you that when we manage to get that sorted out. Licorice, all sorts. Oh, yes, please. My mum and dad love those. At the moment, very few people in the valleys are taking any notice of the 20-mile-an-hour limit, including the police and bus drivers. I can believe it. I mean, we've got 20-mile-an-hour limits around here, and there are proposals, and I've seen them again, to push these 20-mile-an-hour limits around everywhere, the whole of town. It's really, really unbelievable. Something gone a bit nuts in this world. Anna Perkins, that Doom Goblin has a criminal record. We let her in, and she will have another criminal record here in the UK. Doom Goblin. I love some of the names that come up. I really do. Blue Angel 10. Kids can't get a placement at a school near them now, as others are taking their placements from them. So they have to travel miles to get to the schools. Yeah, I have invested interest in this at the moment. We're at that stage with my son Jack where we have to choose a secondary school, and it's a worry. Are we going to get a place? What school is good enough? Is it easy to get to? Are the facilities okay? Will there be loads and loads of questions? So much pressure with parents. I don't know where my mum is. Blood knows. I don't. I'm sure she'll probably watch it on the replay. I did speak to her a day or two ago. I've got to go and see her in the next couple of days because I've got to pick something up from her house. But I know she watches, even if it is on the catch-up. Sharpie, what about the Luton Fire Service report? It's available at some point. It's got to be, Sharpie. It's got to be. If not, we can try and find that out, can't we? We can try and find that out. George, Andy, I sent an email asking about the pic with you at the side of the Renault minibus. Could you send me the original, please? Cheers. Is that the one where I'm standing by it, or the one where I'm in it? Because there's two. I sent an email with a load of that stuff to my guy that helps me behind the scenes with a few bits and pieces. He's the one that done the new cover for me, so I should be able to dig that email out and forward you the same thing. Bumblebee T, is insurance on EV vehicles higher than petrol and diesel? I should imagine they're probably going to end up being that way. No, I really do imagine they will end up being that way, particularly the one with, the situation with Luton. George, thank you for that. Yes, I can get my hands on that very easily. I've got a folder full of publicity photos like that I took for my airport business, so I can get those. No problem at all. Alan Reader, Luton Airport burnt down quicker than the Queen Vic pub. Yes, very good. Yeah, you might have a point there. It's it was amazing how fast it took hold and how long it took to put out. I think it was something like 12 hours. I remember 9 o'clock, I think it was reported. Fire brigade started arriving within 10 minutes. I got up at 3:30, 4 a.m. that morning to find out about it, and it was, still cooking off when I was going up to Stansted. Really bad. Richard Butler with the former sanity checker. Isn't John now? Could he throw you a musical number or at least a Christmas song? Well, we did have a quick talk about music, and he did put a little track together for me, but when I put that to the public vote, people seemed to like the one I had more, so it was more of an emphasis on that. So we're going to stick with it, really. I think that's the way we're going. The insurance companies will stop covering EVs. Russ, if that kind of thing happens, I really do believe that you could be right there. Kiwi wife, I have a Land Rover and no one is going to make me let it go. Well, it's your car, your baby, isn't it? That's absolutely right. I mean, there are safety recalls and issues with cars all of the time, aren't there? And I see them again and again and again. And, whether people act on them or not, I don't know. It's down to them at the end of the day, isn't it? What I want to do as well is just have a quick other look at Noel's fundraiser and see how we're doing in the last hour while we've been talking. And here it is. Let's do a quick refresh. 6,443 quid. That, folks, is incredible. And I said to Noel, I'm going to do another video on that coming out tomorrow, which I'll record when this live stream's over and done with. And Noel and I are actually going to do a live together at some point in the not too distant future. We're talking about it. I was going to try and get him on this evening, but he had another engagement, and there'll be stuff going on this week as well. But he will be coming on. He will be answering your questions and everything else. So that'll be wonderful. Really, really wonderful. Now, we've rattled through everything a bit quick this evening. The comments and the Welsh type stuff. What's this? The chat stopped and gulped because they knew the far right is right. Okay. Does happen sometimes, doesn't it? A couple of things I want to shout out about. Bridget, BCTV, a different videographer with opinions, did a video where she was sent, it looked like a camera phone tripod thing by Retro on his bikes. I thought that was wonderful when I saw that, two YouTubers supporting each other, and that's how it should be done. And I thought that was wonderful. So please do look up Bridget on her channel. I don't know if you can stick a link in there for me, blood knows. Great. Also, Retro on his bikes, you know, subscribe to him as well. He's a pretty decent guy, and you know, quite knowledgeable as well. Give them some support. Somebody mentioned Ryan earlier. Now, Ryan is no longer Sanity Checkers. He is Ryan Yard Music. He's decided on a complete rebrand and going in a completely different direction. He is following his passion, and that is music. He has other ways of directing his passion, and that is into, you know, his music and getting his artistry and his work out there. So please, if you can, support Ryan, support him very much. Subscribe if you haven't, and if you are subscribed to him, please stick around. That is very much appreciated. The last one I want to talk about is Russ. Absolutely average, that guy with the cap and the beard in there. He has high handy. There he is. He has had to put up with a barrel load of shit the last week or so, and it really, really is unfair. He's turned up and tried his best to defend himself. He's had a lot of people saying a lot of nasty crap about him, none of which is true. I've sat there in the background and watched and listened, and it's unbelievable. I know Russ, he's a friend of mine, met him many times, and it's not fair what he's had to put up with. So if anybody can, and if anybody is of mind to, please hop across and subscribe to Russ. Absolutely average as well. Great guy, really nice fella. He's done a lot for me in the background, always in communication every day, the same as Ryan. Does a live stream, I think 3 days a week, and he's a grand bloke. So please go and give him your support as well. I appreciate it. Pete and Dud, wrong channel. I'm afraid it is. Yeah, if you want to know what Pete and Dud's about, go and see Russ. So yeah, I'm always for supporting YouTube channels if I can. You know, we all start somewhere here. Some of us have a lucky break and absolutely skyrocket. That's what happened to me way back when, and a lot of people just end up plugging away at it. It can be very frustrating, this YouTube business. It really can be. So, you know, if you can and you know other YouTubers, please support them. Very, very, very much appreciated. Now, that's me done for today. Tonight with this live. There will be content coming out from 8 o'clock in the morning, so please keep an eye out for that. Usual stuff. I'm going to record one more video once we're done. Night, Tony. Good to see you. Thank you. I'm going to record one more video once we're done here, just give an update on the live situation with the fundraiser and where we are. We need to get as much traction on that as possible. And there will be big news coming on that this week, I can assure you. As soon as Noel tells me what's going on, it will be out there, and I will make sure it is. Everybody, please hit the like button if you haven't done so already. I know we're on the way out, but it does help, all that last little bit. One more comment. Tony, did you see the video of the Mercedes ploughing through the flooded road? The car hit the water like a brick wall and all the airbags went off. No, I didn't, but I can imagine. I mean, you can hit water and it can be like a wall of concrete, can't it? Unbelievable. Yes, and finishing off the ending spiel, if you haven't done so and you're of mind to, please subscribe to the channel. Let's help this grow and help the other ones I've mentioned as well. Thank you very much for joining me again this evening. Appreciate it. This is Andy the Gabby Cabby. Till tomorrow, take care. Toodaloo.